All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And peace, love, and salutations to the Akim that's out there laboring, that's of the hopeful elect, that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And pretty much, everybody pretty much knows a lot of the racist sentiment towards Judah pretty much during the World Cup that just took place this past last week. And I wanted to highlight a few instances that pretty much drove it to the forefront of this rhetoric that goes on a lot of these games. A lot of these so-called footballers, they call them, have experienced this sentiment in Europe for years. Okay, they love you when you play good, but then when you play bad, pretty much, and I'm talking about the Judite players that pretty much, a lot of them come from, the West Africa and pretty much play throughout the league. A lot of them play in for a lot of the EU teams like France and Germany and Italy, and pretty much they feel the hatred towards them, okay, because pretty much now a lot of these European teams now you've seen in the World Cup pretty much take on a lot of the so-called West African origin players, okay, on their team. And pretty much a lot of them are pretty much maybe French nationalists, or they pretty much were born in that country, but their origins go back to pretty much West Africa, so to speak. And I want to talk about this player by the name of Mbappe. Okay, he's a footballer a striker from France, and pretty much they defeated Paraguay, and there was a comment, okay, from this senator from Paraguay by the name of Celestia Maravilla, and she pretty much said some comments, pretty much towards Mbappe, pretty much butthurt because her team lost. But if you pretty much watch the game, like I said, there was no match for Jake. At the end of the day, they all both Jakes pretty much, but Judah being that head tribe, man, there's something about them, man. They just have the gift of everything that they do, they pretty much excel in at the end of the day, but I want to play this clip from Valuetainment. I don't agree with what a lot of this individual says. I already know he's pretty much in the pockets of the elites, but pretty much, they broke this pretty much down and gave it that situation that happened between tweets between the senator of Paraguay and Mbappe. They give it a little bit more context to it. So without any further ado, I'm gonna play this video.
Story that happened. Mbappe plays against Paraguay. And Paraguay, I don't know if you guys watched the game. Their game plan was injury, agitation, frustration. It was a nasty game.
Yep.
Nasty. And they kept trying to get under Mbappe's skin. Nothing happened. Eventually, they ended up winning. It was a close game. They won 1-0, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was a 1-0 game.
Yep.
Yeah. Post, game is over with. A senator from Paraguay puts a message out there. And I want to read this to you. This is, I don't know if you have the message of what she originally said. This is post of her apologizing and addressing.
I still, like, when you said it, I don't believe it.
She said, instead of having breast milk, he grew up sucking on coconuts. The most educated creatures he ever heard of are chimpanzees. She said this.
You're talking about who, Pat?
About Mbappe.
Unbelievable.
About Mbappe. And so Mbappe then responds back, and I don't know if you have Mbappe's respond. Mbappe responds back and he says, what an embarrassment you are to your country. While your country just wins and they have all these incredible things to be proud of, you're coming out and saying something like this?
And Paraguay pretty much, the people of Paraguay pretty much belong to the tribe of Nephthali, by the way, but westernized culture, okay, pretty much warped the minds of our people, to where they pretty much are very ignorant into people that pretty much are hated upon the most. And that goes to Judah, man. Talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And pretty much Mbappe pretty much comes from one of those tribes. And, Esau, pretty much is working in overtime, man. He has created a culture of where, these stereotypical comments pretty much get passed down from generation to generation. And they look at Jake as subhuman, man. Okay, you see. Now, there's a long history between Paraguay and Argentina. And I'm gonna get to them in a little bit. But pretty much, the plan was to make Argentina the Europe of South America, pretty much. Okay, both of these countries, the people there, the indigenous people there, pretty much belong to the tribe of Nephthali. Okay, but the culture that is pretty much taught there, they pretty much have ignorant mindsets. Okay, and to further create a divide. Okay, there was a lot of genocide that went on. Okay, in those countries back in the 1800s. Okay, where most of the people, the original Argentinians, okay, in that region, I'm gonna say, okay, from the tribe of Nephthali, were pretty much more of a darker complexion. But when you speak about Argentina, another country that's next door to Paraguay, it's mostly of European and small hat descent, so to speak. You see, okay, and they have created this culture of hate there. You see. Against Jake, okay, against Judah per se, okay, you see. But let's continue.
You just stole all the limelight from what your players did, and you made it about you. Shame on you. I'm going to read you exactly what he said.
Perfect response.
Here for you. Yeah, shame on you. You took all the excitement and the enthusiasm. Did you get the tweet from Mbappe right or no? If you don't have it,
Mbappe, the France captain, responded with a strongly.
There's a tweet by him, and I'll read it to you. He says, "You are a despicable woman and unworthy of your position. You do not represent Paraguay, that country which has sweated passion and honor throughout the competition. Though your recklessness and your brazen racism, the entire world has already forgotten the journey and the historic effort that your players accomplished during the World Cup, making way for an incompetent woman who gives the worst possible image of her country. I will never allow people like you to platform to her the freedom to spread with hatred, racism around the world." This post,
and that's a picture of her right there, as you see. Okay, and she pretty much, has the look of maybe one of the tribes, but as the scripture says, you got to let this whole thing play out to figure out if she's a Jake or not, which leads me to the first precept. Let's go to Matthew. Okay, just wanted to play a little bit of that just to get a little gist of the topic at hand. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 24. Okay? And it says here, "Another parable put he forth unto them." Okay, Yahushua is speaking to his disciples. And pretty much said, "The kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares amongst the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade is sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came in and said to him, Sir, Didst thou not thou sow good seed in the field? From whence have it tares? Okay, and pretty much when you look at a wheat and tares, it pretty much looks very similar. Okay, you see? All right. One is profitable and the one is not profitable. Okay, you see? Okay, so this is why the householder came and said it to him. I thought you sowed good seed, but where the tares came from? And he said to them, an enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, would thou then go and gather them up? And he said, nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. Okay, because he told them not to pull it up, because you can by mistake pull up the good fruit of the land. Okay, while you trying to pull up the tares. It says here, let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather all ye together first the tares, bind them in bundles and burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Okay? All right? And we're going to get the parable to break down to that, though. We got to get into this, though, man. Okay? Pretty much, though, we're going to get it right here at verse 36. Okay? And it says here, verse 36, then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went to his house. And his disciples came and said unto him, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. And he answered unto them and said, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. Okay? All right? That's the Most High. All right? The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. Okay? All right? That's Jacob. Okay? But the tares are the children of the wicked one. Okay? You see? So there's a distinction, okay, that the Yahushua made, okay, between the good seed and the tares, man. Okay? The tares were pretty much, you're going to go into it here. Verse 39. The enemy that sowed them is the devil, and the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. Okay? So now pretty much, man, she made a comment about him being from Cameroon and how they was colonized by the French and well, wait a minute though, you were also colonized by the French. You went to a French school growing up though. She became a lawyer and then later on a senator. Okay, so she was westerly cultured, taught, so to speak. Okay, and she's pretty much gloating in the fact that Cameroon, okay, which is on the west coast of Africa, was colonized by the French, and saying that he's the only reason why he's on that team. But wait a minute though, your superior, okay, all right, the people that you love is, okay, all right, Esau, okay, that was his decision to pretty much allow these players to play on their team, because these countries want to be proud. This is a point in where they want to be proud of, make their country proud and to win pretty much the World Cup, so to speak. Okay, so usually what they have is that it's all hands on deck, man. We're going to get the best players that we can get to represent our respective countries, man. Okay, now, okay, him being originally from Cameroon, okay, which is on the west coast of Africa, was colonized by the French, and also Paraguay, which was colonized. Okay, all right, but she pretty much has the mindset of assimilation. Okay, all right, to the oppressor, so to speak. Okay, now let's get the word assimilate. All right, assimilate. All right, means to take in, to absorb info, food, or culture, so it becomes part of the whole. All right, let's go down. It says to completely learn and grasp new facts and ideas. Students try to assimilate the lessons from class. Right? This is going into culture and society. Fit in, to blend into one group, country, or culture by adopting its ways. And that's pretty much what she did. Okay? She adopted the Western way of culture. Okay? Where they always had enmity, okay, all right, against anybody that is of a darker skin, so to speak. Okay, chiefly Judah. You see? Okay, see, and the ideology, she has taken that on. Okay, so she has totally assimilated, her and a lot of the people that do live in that area, man. Okay, that live in that country. Okay, when you speak about Paraguay and even Argentina, they have taken into that culture. Okay, all right. But let me just make one thing clear about these people that are in those lands, which pretty much are the tribe of Naphtali. Okay, that pretty much have taken on this culture. Okay, the thing that has to be clear is that the people that you are pretty much buck dancing for, so to speak, or trying to uphold their standard, okay, they will never accept you as their own. Okay, so you can do all the bidding that you want, okay, for the Western, the colonizers, okay, they will never accept you, okay, as their own, okay, all right, because as soon as you're not worth a damn to them, okay, they're gonna turn around and destroy you, and they already are destroying you people, man, okay. But these people have fully took on that so-called European culture, okay, and hence the tares and the wheat, man. Okay, so now we don't know for sure, okay, what her father's line goes back to, though, man. Okay, but she is clearly has fully embraced and engulfed herself and assimilated into the westernized colonization mentality. Okay, and pretty much of being the doing the bidding of the oppressor, so to speak. Okay, you see? Okay, so this is why we have to let this rock and ride and let this play out, man. Okay, you see? Because this is the reason why. It's because, you know, we got chocolate colored Edomites as well. You see? Okay, but it says, right, the enemy that sold them is the, hold on, it says, right, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sold them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, and so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, man. Okay, and this man is at the end of his reign, and he has a lot to pay for, man. Okay, you know that the tab is pretty much about to be rang up, so to speak, man. And people's true feelings right now, at the end of the day, they can't help it, man. It's all through the spirit, man. The true feelings are coming out, man. Okay, all right. They are pretty much working in overtime to pretty much hold on to this society, man. To keep the society intact, to keep its ideologies intact. You see, okay, and they're pretty much doing the bidding to pretty much keep that whole sentiment going, man. Okay. You know, this man understands that he has to go hard at the head, okay, which is Judah, man, okay? And you're having a lot of this so-called anti-blackness throughout the world going on, man, okay? And it's being exploited and polarized, man, okay, on a grand scale, okay? You see? So this is how we know they're about to pretty much make their move, man, okay? You see? All right? Let's get real quick. Let's go back to the video again. Okay, play a little bit of this stuff, but there's another one I want to play with with the YouTuber iSpeed when he went to Argentina for a game. But let's play a little bit more of this.
On Twitter, got 1.8 million likes.
And look at her.
88 million views.
Good. 88 million people see her face.
Views, yeah. And then this is the response that she had in the video. Watch the way she speaks. Tell me if this is your kind of a person. But press play, and you got to read the comment. Do my best to read the commentary to you. But watch her reaction. Go for it.
¿Usted se ratifica entonces en la hora de sus dichos? ¿No va a pedir disculpas como plantea Mbappé? Mbappé no me pidió disculpas y tampoco tengo
This one doesn't have the translation. The one I sent you had the translation. This one doesn't have the translation. One of them had... One of them had the translation that's explaining, well, you know, I did apologize, but I'm going to sue him, and they're going to sue him. He betted this, and by the way, right there, look what she says right there. If you zoom in, I come from a society where gays were beaten and were calling someone a shitty, I don't want to read the next word, was the most usual thing. I come from the generation, and so now I'm trying to build a different Celeste Amarilla that's so capable of coexisting with others. Have patience, I'm trying. What?
That's her name?
What?
That's who it was?
That's who it was.
And that's the culture that she grew up on. You see? That's pretty much the culture that she grew up on, man. All right? And a lot of them have that same sentiment, man. Okay? Unapologetic of their feelings, man. Okay? You see? All right? So pretty much, man, it's time to really use discernment, man, when you're dealing out here in the world, man. Okay? All right? Judah. Chiefly, man. Okay? All you tribes, though, man. Okay? But you got to walk with discernment, man, when you're dealing with people, man, that pretty much, you know, that are around about, man, at the end of the day, man. Okay? You see? You know, this right now is a season of true feelings coming out, man. Okay? You see? All right? This is definitely not the season of love, man. All right?
And give her, guys, give her time.
Yeah.
She's going to get rid of the coconut comments in about a couple years.
Yeah.
Then in 5 years, she's going to stop saying the N-word. Give her some time.
She says, I've written down that had been needed at his discretion. You know, these claims that instead of breast milk, he drank, you know, coconut. The most intrusive thing she heard. I retracted myself, she says. That is not discriminatory racism. Yes, it is what it is. I said it. I retracted. That's why I erased the post. She deleted the post. But this report gives an Afro-descendant community and not Mbappe. I give them all to everyone. That was a disappointment. And then she says something, but Mbappe hasn't apologized to me. What?
Get out of here.
No. She's asking Mbappe to apologize. And she says, if you don't, I'm going to do to you what we did to Ronaldinho. Don't forget what we did to Ronaldinho. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassing thing to say for somebody like this. So, you know, Adam, your thoughts on this with this story?
And pretty much now, you know, we've seen that now. Now I want to get to another incident that had happened, okay, that pretty much came into the forefront. Let's see, you can pull it up here. You know, he's simple as hell, but pretty much though the point was that, man, they're exposing how a lot of these fans are, man. You know, at the end of the day, man. Okay, you see, and that's from Argentina, man. And Argentina has a long history of racism and pretty much genocide there. Okay, all right, but pretty much, you know, hey, the Lord got something for these people, man. At the end of the day, man. Okay, you see. You know, and you know there's a lot of tares that's amongst these our people in these areas, man. Okay, you see, this is Amos chapter 9 verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as a corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, evil shall not overtake us, or overtake nor prevent us. In that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen, and closed up the breaches thereof. You know, and pretty much, man, these breaches are gonna have to be you know, closed up, man. Okay, because amongst our people, man, there's still a great divide, man. You know, but at the end of the day, man, we only out here for the elect, man. Okay, only the elect is gonna be able to get this, and everybody else is gonna perish in their own ignorance, man. Okay, plain and simple. Okay, you can't get around that. Okay? But it says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up the ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. And they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh that doeth this. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes of him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. They shall plant the vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up from out their land, which I gave them, saith Yahweh thy power, man. You know, and pretty much, man, both countries, okay, all these countries that's in question right now, or the topic of discussion, have been colonized and oppressed, man. Okay, and pretty much, a lot of the darker skinned people, all right, in those regions were driven out from, and they were trying to make Argentina pretty much the Europe of South America, man. And they have accomplished that, man. Okay, you see, and this is why you have a lot of the elites that are pretty much are fleeing to Argentina. That is pretty much a safe haven there for the small hats, man. Okay, they have made that a sanctuary for them. Okay, so the ideology, the westernized ideology towards Jake, okay, is heavy in these areas, man, and the people's minds are warped. The scriptures say that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You see, okay, all right. From there, let's go to Isaiah 11. Verse 11, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, from Patros, from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the isles of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather them together, the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Right? And pretty much, man, she had a problem with France beating her team and having this dark-skinned man of Cameroonian descent, Western Africa, play on that team. But the point is that we are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Okay, so Jake is everywhere, man. Okay, so a lot of those players, and even on England, which is a lot of so-called Negro players, man. But a lot of them were born. Most of them were born. I think all but one were born in England, man. Okay, even if they have a so-called West African descent, man. Okay, a lot of them are English nationals. Okay, same thing with France. You see, but we are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So that shows the ignorance of her. Okay, you see, to pretty much mock the colonization of a people when not her country herself was being colonized. Okay, but through the spirit, man, she may be a terror, man. Okay, you see, but what the Lord say, man, you got to wait and see and let them grow together, man. And the angels are going to decide that, man. Okay, you see, all right. It says, and I shall set up an ensign for the nations, verse 12, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather them and gather the dispersed of Judah for the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Okay, and that's pretty much, man, when you see the first video, Ephraim was pretty much envying Judah, man. Okay, she got butt hurt because her country lost to Judah, man. Okay, so it was an envy thing, man, to pretty much personally attack this man. Okay, because of the goal that he scored. And then when you look at Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Okay, I speed, the simpleton, the podcast, it gets a lot of followers, but he did in a way antagonize the crowd. Okay, but that's what pretty much drew out the racism in them. You know, when you see other clips, you see them doing monkey symbol signs and trying to emulate him. You see, okay, but he was vexing. He vexed that crowd too because he was doing that dance and the messy dance, the dancing he was doing. Okay, so he pretty much ticked them off, but then they responded with racism, man. Okay, but this is where the Lord said that He's going to close up the breaches thereof, man. You see, okay. All right, but it says that the envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. You see, okay. So pretty much, man. Hey, man, the Lord is working the work, man, and like I said, man, a lot of these people, a lot of our people are gonna perish, okay, due to that ignorance, man. Okay, is that the time to be walking around here and still being ignorant, man? Of anything, man. You see? And ignorance is going to get a lot of people get put to death, man, straight forth. Okay? You see? All right? But pretty much, man, you're seeing where, the sentiment is growing and growing more and more, man. Okay? Okay? But the Lord is working a work, man, that nobody would even believe, man. Okay? Okay? But, hey, all hands on deck, man, and hey, man, we gotta forge forward, man. All right, because the Lord's gonna pretty much make doing His promise, man, and pretty much close up them breaches, man. Okay, all right. So with that, I'm gonna end it there, and I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rukakwadash, Shalom.